Morning, YouTubers. What a beautiful, bright, gorgeous Saturday morning it is. Almost midday, actually. 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. So what a great day for a driveway unboxing. You've seen this before. This is the Firman Co-Alert. It is gas and propane powered, so dual. I will only be targeting propane for this. You've also seen I picked up what was the type of connection? This is TT30R. So this is a TT30R connection as opposed to the straight connections for my welding cable. So this will be perfect for welding. You saw this as well previously. This is my welding extension that will plug into this, which will plug into this, and then this goes into my welder. There goes the hanging strap. And then you also saw this, but what I did to this was I half solved this issue by putting the adapter on for my grounding rod. So I need to do the same thing on the other end of this once we unbox this. So let me move all of this off to the side so that we can do the unboxing. So I have this on a dolly so it's easy to move around, at least for the driveway. I'm hoping this is as simple as cutting these straps and lifting this box off. Now, it's a solid box, or it's a full box, so that not going to happen. Ooh, that's a heavy. Okay, we're going to leave that there. We will pick those up later. Doing that one-handed, no bueno. It's a big box and obviously the camera's in the way. And I'm trying to stay behind the camera. And there we go. I'm going to guess that this top box, if it's a box, is all of the accessories, like the adapter. That's a nice piece of cardboard. Oh, these are savers. Yeah, I like that. That's going in the cardboard pile. Alright, so it looks like I was half right. We've got the actual machine, which is up to here, and then we have our accessories. Desiccant, instructions, and this was, I thought, nice. A cover keeps things from getting all janky, even in the garage or if it's outside for a while. Oh, whoops! What would a video be without bumping the camera? All right, so that is a good size manual. Looks like we have a quick start guide as well. Quick start guide, Firman manual is probably in many languages. Like, let me double check because I can't imagine that there's that much to the generator. Operator, maintenance, parts, service warranty. I think that's about, okay, so about a third. I'm going to say that this is other languages. Yes, Spanish, and what's the next one? French. Another, yeah, okay, so I don't know what those other languages are. Don't care either. Tight fit on the bag. Worry about that later too. Oh my goodness. And it looks like we've got the Mongo adapter. Yes. Mongo adapter. And more cardboard. So this is the Mongo and I'm not sure if that is mounted in here or if this, again, that's what the instructions are for. And then I wouldn't be surprised if I run out of storage on the memory card. Number of videos lately. Let's try and do the open approach. Now, that's all four of them. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuffage. So we have oil. The machine has no oil, and if memory serves, you have to go in and turn something on. This looks like the trickle charge for charging. I thought there was also another adapter you could attach to this, so I'll have to look into that. Oil. What do we have here? Extra. I'm wondering if that's got anything to do with that. This is all plasticky. I'm going to guess spark plug. Something, screwdriver, something, leverage. Because I believe you have to unscrew one side, the back side, in order to put the oil in, as well as turn it on. This looks like the charging unit for, I think this is another option for the battery. So again, I'll have to read the instructions now that everything's open. This MFR so I don't know if that's in as much as it's supposed to be in. It looks like, it doesn't look flush. It looks like this end is in a little more than that end, but it's not going any lower. So I'm going to say that this thing is the way it's supposed to be. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screw holes, and there were 4 screws. One long one, I guess, for here. 1, 2, 3 shorties for the other side. So I'm going to guess LPG regulator cover installation. Okay, so there's more things that have to be installed as part of the cover regulation, or cover regulator, excuse me. And that's a motherfucker to get out. Holy shit. That is fucking really in there. Okay, so much for... Yeah, that's pretty funny. Holy fuck. I'm gonna guess that comes out the other side. That's fucking ridiculous. Maybe I should have read the quick start guide. Yeah, that doesn't come up, that comes out. Okay, so wow. So this thing, and then there's our oil. So let me get this out of the way. Charger instructions, and maybe we'll keep those. So it looks like you're just matching up so they show these 3 screws, but those are already in, and this doesn't look the same here as it does for this bracket, so it looks like they've made some changes. And if we look at the hose, if the hose is towards me with the lettering, it looks like this is the way it's supposed to go. Yep. Alright, let me get my fancy schmancy screwdriver they supplied. Looks like I got 2 heads of Phillips. Not that we need instructions on how to screw a screw in, but... And I'll probably fast forward this stuff so as not to bore everybody who's watching. So the plastics don't line up perfectly. Take a little, what's the right word I'm looking for? Assistance. To get them lined up. All right, last one. That doesn't line up either. That's too funny. You would think with 3 screws, three bolts in, it would line up. This is awkward. It's a thick, kind of unwieldy cable. So I'm doing snug tight, just enough to where it stops. And they have lock rings. Alright, so we're going to say that it doesn't really matter what this thing looked like, because now it's assembled. You've got a cotter pin in here. I don't know. I'm going to guess that something like this. I don't know if this is, again, I'll read, if this is for storage or if this is something that attaches here. We'll find out. I'll leave my fancy schmancy screwdriver out, and now I will see if I can lift this. What I'll probably do is stop the video because the camera's in the way. I'll take this off the dolly so that I can lift this out and put this on the dolly. One moment. Alright, there it is. At least that's the back side. I'm sure somebody's going to say, why do you have it on dolly? And I'm going to say that this is the reason I have it on a dolly. So I can very easily maneuver. So it was bulky but not super heavy. Love having the two handles, and then I believe this comes out for easy, hopefully. And Murphy's Law says this is going to move, so hang on 1 second, please. And if I had to do this all again, this is picked up 20-30 years ago, I would replace these wheels with locking wheels. Pain in the ass. Dollies can be a royal pain. Alright, so there are no shortage of instructions. There's a pamphlet here. This is obviously, gas or propane. It's set to propane right now. There's the propane inlet. There's the choke. There's the start. The hours, obviously the plugs. I think what I'll look for is because I'll do the easy stuff first. And here's the starting instructions. So they really don't want you to F up. So they have plenty of guides in terms of what to do. And I will bust out the instructions. I was looking to see if there's an easy spot for this, because I'm guessing, as you okay, so maybe I don't know if this is for the propane tank, to hold on to the propane tank. There's the propane. So I can't see how this would mount to the propane tank. So I'm thinking this is some type of mount for, so if this is my tank, and this is here. Yeah, I'm thinking this is just for storage sake, but we'll find out. I'm going to read a bit and probably do this connection and attach this wire to, it looks like the ground is right there. All right, back in a little bit. All right, so it is too nice outside not to take advantage of today and some pew-pew action. So there is my ground, and we'll pick this up later when we put the oil in. I don't think you need to see me putting the oil in, and later on we'll do a first start, but I need to read some instructions and do some paper hole therapy. Later for now. All right, we're going to call this segment 2 after some paper hole therapy. And I did check the directions, and for mounting this, we are according to that. Actually, I think that's how it's supposed to go. Let me double check. Yeah. So it looks like the clampy clamp thing goes up here. I'm sure this can route a little bit differently, but yeah, there's no way that you're gonna be able to put the cover on with that thing and this being all janky. So I have a different solution for that I'll show you, because again, I don't think this cover will compensate for this pointy bullshit. In fact, we'll take this out now to double check. Hang on one sec. All right, as expected, the cover is basically a square, but you know what? Let me do it again with this. My concern is if this is in the garage and this gets smacked or bumped or whatever, but let me see how it looks. All right, so I have to eat crow. It does fit, but again, I don't know if I like having this right here to bump into. There's just something about the whole, I don't want to say fragility, but comfort level's not there. And according to the quick instructions, they don't even mention filling the oil. You know, they talk about the oil fill cap, where it's at and where the fill is, but the two things we need to do today, three things. One, connect the battery, and I did charge the battery. I use this charger with the little 3.5 millimeter whatever. I don't know what all that gunk is. I'll wipe that off. That's interesting. Connect the battery, fill the oil, and connect the propane. We'll give it a try. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these leftover hooks, put it in the garage somewhere vertical overhead. Then I'm going to hang this, my extension cable. I will connect this so that it's readily available. Then I think I'll hang this or something like that, so that this is out of the way. Or hang this on here. Something like that, because I want this out of the way and not bumped into and jammed up. All right, enough said there. All right, we're gonna pop that top and do an oil fill and a battery connect. I don't know if these are captured or not. No. They're coated, they're nice. It looks like there's more instructions on this thing as well. I should have taken the bottoms off first. Caffeine hasn't kicked in. Oh, this is metal. I was thinking this would be plastic. All right, open spark plug. Spark plug is right there. A lot of people have wanted to check for the gap. Probably not a bad idea before first start. So pull this off. Actually, let me double check directions. Oil looks like it goes right here. There's this little rubber thing for draining the oil. There's the battery. It needs to be connected. Alright, so let me double check on what's the secret to maneuvering this to check the spark plug. Alright, so the spark plug boot just essentially pops out, and I will pull this out. Funny how nothing talks about how much oil this thing takes, other than don't overload it. So I might look online and see what others have done in terms of, because it only talks about filling to the upper limit H mark on the dipstick, which is, since there's no oil in here, shouldn't have to wipe anything, which is right there. So it's fill, and it needs to be on a flat surface, so this isn't going to work. I'll have to elevate this. But let's check the spark plug. My gap is right at 0.6 millimeter, and they said 5 to 6 millimeter. So I'll put this back in, and it's time for oil. All right, so we're going to call this being overcautious. So it even says right here, the manual doesn't, or at least I haven't found it, but you're supposed to use 20.3 fluid ounces or 600 milliliter. And what's interesting is, you know, I was thinking this was a quart. So I went to check a conversion calculator to see what 20.3 fluid ounces, 600 milliliters. I think some other video said 6.3. What did he say? 0.63. Yeah, I can't remember. Basically 60% of a quart. So I didn't realize this is not a quart. This is only 18 ounces, 532 milliliters. So that is because another video said, oh, I poured the whole container in. Well, if it's a quart container, it would have been too big. So it's not a quart container, and this will take 600 milliliters. So we should be fine with the included, not quart size. Whoops. Wrong. The oil, where the oil drips from, or where you change oil from, is right here. So you would unscrew this, and then it would drain. There's a little rubber cover that you pull off, and it's supposed to be draining just right there. This is just to catch whatever oil I spill with my whatever process, because I don't care how careful one is with oil, it gets everywhere. So I've put this piece of leveling wood on the front, so we are now relatively level enough for this video, and the fact that we're not going to be filling more than 532 milliliters. But I still bet it gets messy. I should probably have gloves, but I just live dangerously. And I will probably save this oil container because I'll use it as my measurement for future oil changes, methinks. And there's no easy way to get this off. Back to the hole. Oil changes are messy. Just making sure none of the plastic gets in. All right, let's see how much leaks or spills. And this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to weigh this to see what this actually weighs. Write that down. And I can already feel the oil. Be right back. Between 18.6 and 0.06 and 18.1, so accounting for the container. So 18 fluid ounces, which is about 0.63 of a quart. There's my first drip that would have been elsewhere. And it makes sense that they would ship only the required amount of oil, because if they included a quart of oil, why should they? That would be too much and it would cost them more money. And there's no point of a company spending more money than they need to. Alright, so I'm going to hold this here for a few and come back when it's done. Alright, let's see what the dipsticky says. We are at the H, shiny at the H, so we're good. And we'll wipe that off so that it doesn't attract any more dirt than it absolutely needs to. Keep this away from anything hot. We're draining oil in there. And I don't know if this will be wide enough to come out. Looks like it is. You can't fuck that up. There's only one way to connect that. Put that back there. Put this back together and we'll be good to test. I gotta say, considering the amount of plastic, I was more than surprised that this is steel. And I'll bust out a magnet here in a minute to make sure it's not aluminum. So this has two components, the propane, and then this looks like it's the power for the regulator. So that looks like your standard connect that's in there. I'll call this the regulator power. Alright, so now let me get my instructions. Alright, so according to my quick connect instructions, my quick start guide for propane, we've got this set to propane. We've got this connected, we've got that connected. We're going to open the gas. Then we're going to switch this switch. So let's see. So eco mode is off. I'm going to bust out the instructions for clarity's sake. So it looks like for propane you're setting to 1, which is in the middle. 2 is up top. Then you're going to hold this. Well, let me open up the okay, so we've opened up the propane. And you're going to hold this for 3 seconds. Then you're going to pull the choke out and hold it for 2 seconds on that. And then, yeah, let me bust out the instructions. Alright, so for first time I figured I'd get the actual words instead of just the pictures. Alright, we're on LPG. Flip the engine, switch to the run position, which is the 1 in the middle. Push the battery power 3 seconds, then release. Pull the choke out to the start position. Okay. For recoil start only, recoil start only. We're not doing that. Recoil start only. For electric start only, flip the engine, switch to the start 2 position for a few seconds, then release. Move the choke to run. Alright, so 3 seconds, then choke, then flip to 2. Then release. So okay, so it has an auto release on that one. All right, so 3 seconds, 3 seconds, then choke. All right, let's see what happens. One, Mississippi, 2, Mississippi, 3, Mississippi. Nothing happened. I just heard something come alive. 1, Mississippi, 2, Mississippi, 3, Mississippi. Nothing. Nothing happening. Well, ain't that some shit? I'm pretty sure I connected the battery. Okay. That's all the way open. That's in there. We are getting nothing on the battery. I wonder if the battery's dead. Shouldn't be. I charged it. Maybe I killed it. Alright, troubleshooting time. Back later. Checked everything. Pulled the spark plug again. Double check the oil. Double check the battery connection. Everything looks good here. So I then attached the battery charger. Found interesting when I plugged, and this is, I had previously charged it in green light. So that told me the battery was charged. And maybe because of all the dicking around I'm doing this morning, we now have a red light, which I thought was interesting. So maybe it's a bad battery. But if I go to pull start, I'll probably hit the camera. Maybe it's already because no, I had it running. Oh, okay. Probably helps if I have some fuel. I had turned everything off. All right, let's try that again. Oh, this is a motherfucker. Alright, so full start works. Which I guess is the most important thing. Alright, so I will charge the battery rest of today, see if that helps. Otherwise, I will call our folks at Firman. And this should be as simple as pull till you have resistance, pull till you have resistance. Alright, maybe it's still cold enough. Alright, so we've proven it works, but it's a bit of a bummer that I can't get an electric start. So that means spark plug's okay, engine works, propane, everything works except our buddy the battery. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see how that goes. So we'll do the battery for a few hours, and I probably will not add anything to this recording. If the battery works, I'll end with a thumbs up, and if the battery doesn't work, thumbs down. But in either case, I'll call Firman and get a new battery. Later. Okay, I was wrong. So that is not the battery. The battery is actually right here, and the only way to get to the battery is by taking off this rear plastic cover and then this black rubber that covers the battery. And here is the red terminal, which is all the way on my left, and the black terminal goes all the way over here. And the only way to get the battery out is to remove this cable so that there's room, because this was actually zip tied down here, so there was very little movement of the battery. So they don't expect you to take it out. But let me show you the battery on the charger. So here's my Firman battery on my Genius charger, and this puppy's only at 25%. So this whatever reading I had on this when it said it was green was false. So we'll charge this up for a few hours on a little fancier trickle charger than the Chinesium that they sent with it, and we'll see if that addresses my issue. Otherwise, new battery. All right, I pulled it off the trickle charge after it said 100% charged. Then I reinstalled the battery, which you probably can't see, so I'm not going to button this up, and I'm not going to button this up. Reconnected the battery, so everything is where it's supposed to be. But and I put it back on the trickle charge, and I've got a green light. So we're going to take this out, hook it up, and see if it works from a electric start. We are all connected. Gas is turned on all the way. This is up. This is on 1. We're going to do this for 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. All right, that's what should have happened 3 hours ago. $123 volts. Grounding wire. We are good. So I think that sucks that I had to take this apart and charge that battery, because that trickle charge thing, you know, a few days ago, but when I unboxed this and I charged it, I'm like, yeah, that's messed up. All right, let's see if it'll do it again. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Alright, so we know we have a pull start that works because we demonstrated that, and now we have a electric start. So we'll be trickle charging the shit out of this for a while. Alright, well, the message is it works now. Alright, and I did check the date of manufacture, so it's almost a year, 11/23. So that's a battery that's been sitting for almost a year, because it's now 11 months later. So there's that to contend with. I will button it up now and put it away for when the storm hits. Later.